I built an app where I can literally talk to my codebase and it can edit files for me. Let me show you how.
Hey, I am Voxcode. I am built with Cursor SDK for Codework, Deepgram for voice, and Nebius for reasoning. Ask me to summarize this codebase, explain a file, or turn on edit access when you want me to change files.
Can you summarize my workspace?
This is your Voxcode app. It's a local voice assistant for Codework. Deepgram handles voice input and output, Nebius handles the reasoning and tool routing, and Cursor SDK actually reads and edits files in a folder you choose. You can ask me to explain files, summarize code, or turn on edit access when you want me to make changes.
I can also make safe file edits using this. This is Voxcode. In this video, I will show you how it works and how you can build something like this using Cursor SDK, Deepgram, and Nebius Token Factory. The idea is simple. I wanted to interact with a real code base using voice, not just chat, but actually ask questions about the repo, get a structured summary, see risks and follow, and safely make edits. The key thing is this is not just another agent chatbot. There is a real coding agent behind it that can inspect the workspace and when edit mode is enabled, apply changes. Here is the system. Deepgram handles voice input, voice agent orchestration, function calling, and voice output. Nebius Token Factory runs the Minimax model for reasoning, intent routing, argument shaping, and chat titles, along with enhancing the chat responses. Cursor SDK handles code understanding and file edits. Flow looks like this. The separation matters. Deepgram does not read your repo. Nebius does not make file edits. Cursor SDK is the only layer that touches code workspace. That makes the app easier to debug and safer to demo. Cursor recently launched Cursor SDK. Cursor SDK is not just another chat completion wrapper. Cursor describes the SDK as a way to build programmatic agents with the same runtime, harness, and models that power Cursor. That means the agents you use from TypeScript are connected to same broader Cursor agent stack used across Cursor's desktop, CLI, and web app. The fastest way in a local agent against your current working tree, streaming event as they come. In Voxcode, I used local mode, so Cursor worked against the local folder I choose with code workspace. The SDK also supports Cloud agents as a Cursor SDK capability. Cloud runs can work against a dedicated VM and continue even if your local app disconnects. Voxcode does not use Cloud mode right now, but it is one reason the SDK is interesting for production workflows. Cursor's agent harness can use code-oriented capabilities that are painful to rebuild yourself, like code-based indexing, semantic search, instant grep, streaming agent events, model selections, MCP server, repo skills, hooks, and sub-agents. To be precise, Voxcode is not manually implementing semantic search or indexing. We are embedding Cursor SDK and the code work is dedicated to Cursor's agent runtime. Deepgram and Nebius makes the voice experience possible, but Cursor SDK is the code agent layer. Let's look at what other tools we have in the stack. First, let's look at Deepgram. Deepgram gives the app the live voice loop, microphone input, speech to text, function call orchestration, and text to speech. It's a platform to get STT or TTS voice AI models to work with agents or any other AI applications. Now we are using Minimax from Nebius Token Factory. I use Nebius as an OpenAI compatible endpoint for Minimax M2.5 model. Nebius is the thinking model inside Deepgram, and the backend also uses it to enhance cursor results into a short spoken answer and clean UI summary. And the third and most important tool is Cursor SDK. Cursor SDK creates the actual coding agent that reads the repo and applies edit. Voxcode is a local React and Node app. The browser captures microphone audio and streams PCM audio to the backend over voice. The backend opens a Deepgram voice agent WebSocket. Deepgram sends the conversation to Nebius as the think model. If Nebius decides we need code work, Deepgram sends a function call request to the backend. The backend routes either summarize code or edit code. Then the backend calls Cursor SDK. Cursor returns a structured result. Nebius enhances that result. Deepgram turns the final answer back into voice. The UI shows the transcript, provides event log, local chat history, and result panel. Let's look at Codebase. So this is deepgram.ts file. Here, this file builds the Deepgram setting messages. The important pieces are Deepgram speech to text model. This setting object wires Deepgram listen speak with Nebius as the think model. After that, here Deepgram can tell this tool only for explicit code summary questions. So we are calling summarize code tool, and then we have edit code. So these two tools are being used based on the intent the user has. Either it will summarize the code or make the file edits. You can also see we have a greeting message for voice agent once you hit mic for the first time, voice agent will respond with something like this. The descriptions are intentionally strict. For example, summarize code says it should only run when the user explicitly asks to inspect, explain, summarize, map, review, or answer a question about code. So if I say, "Are you listening?" the voice agent should answer normally and not call cursor. This prompt says the same thing in plain language. Only call code tools for real code questions or concrete edit request. Now let's look at Nebius.ts because we are using Minimax model from Nebius to power our agent thinking capabilities. Nebius is used in two places. First, inside Deepgram as the voice agent thinking model. Second, directly from the backend after cursor returns some results. This takes the cursor result and asks Minimax to create a short spoken answer, a direct answer, a purpose section, an architecture section, key files list, and follow-ups. That matters because raw agent output can be too long or too markdown heavy for voice. Here, this is just an OpenAI compatible chat completion request pointed at the Nebius Token Factory endpoint. Now let's come to our main part, Cursor Agent.ts, where we have defined what Cursor SDK will do. This is the most important code path. Here is where Vox Code creates a cursor agent. This is the code workspace where cursor can inspect or edit. For summaries, Vox Code sends a read-only prompt. As you can see, here we have depth guides. So what kind of depth you want in your summary, either brief, standard, or deep. And it also restricts agents from edit, create, delete, move, or format files. For edits, Vox Code sends a scoped edit prompt, as you can see in this part, but the edit route only gets called after the backend confirms edit mode was enabled for that voice session. One important point to note is Cursor SDK is the only layer in this app that modified files. Deepgram routes the voice conversation, Nebius regions, and enhances the responses. Then cursor performs the code action. This is session.ts file where everything is connected under one loop. Deepgram sends function call request. The backend checks which function was requested. If it's summarize code, it calls cursor summary. If it is edit code, it first checks edit mode. If edit mode is off, it refuses. If edit mode is on, it calls cursor. Voice response format makes sure the responses sent back to Deepgram is voice safe. That prevents the assistant from reading raw JSON, markdown, or long file content out loud, because it can be weird for voice agents to read stars, hash, like symbols while it's marked on. So let's go to our app UI and test it out, like how it works and what are the things you can get from this app. So this is a demo built using Cursor SDK to showcase how powerful it is, what you can create. This is not a production scale app, so you don't have to worry about a lot of things. Here we have provider cards about Deepgram, Nebius, and Cursor. Here we have a chat summary, like whatever chat you are doing, it is getting saved in the local, and you can get the chat history. On the right side, what summary Cursor is generating in the backend, you can get here. Then here is activity logs, what function calls or what agent relates are getting enabled while working on this app. You can get the view here. We have also selected what local workspace to call and use for agent. So we have added GitHub/Cursor SDK folder for the agent to use. Then we have depth mode for deep, standard, and brief for the agents to decide how it want to summarize the code, how you want the answers from the agent. If you want depth mode, you can enable the depth mode and change the brief, standard, and deep based on what you want. Now we have allow file edit mode. If you allow this, agent will be able to edit files on your behalf. Now let's test this app on how this performs with file edit access and without file edit access.
Hey, I am Voxcode. I am built with Cursor SDK for codework, Deepgram for voice, and Nebius for reasoning. Ask me to summarize this codebase, explain a file, or turn on edit access when you want me to change files.
Can you summarize this codebase?
This is Voxcode, a local web app where you can talk to summarize or inspect a project folder. You can also let Cursor edit files after turning on edit access in the UI. Speech is handled by Deepgram, reasoning by Nebius, and the actual codework runs through Cursor on your machine.
Can you edit files for me?
Not yet. Edit access is turned off in this session. If you'd like me to make changes to files, you'll need to flip the Allow File Edits toggle on in the UI first. Once you do that, I can help you modify code.
I have enabled edit mode. Can you check that?
Edit mode is now enabled. I'm ready to help you make changes to files. Just let me know what you'd like to edit and in which file.
Now let's try allow file edit mode from the start and let me enable the depth mode as deep and see what happens.
Hey, I am Voxcode. I am built with Cursor SDK for codework, Deepgram for voice, and Nebius for reasoning. Ask me to summarize this codebase, explain a file, or turn on edit access when you want me to change files.
Can you add a new README file called Voxcode README and add few pointers about our project? Keep it detailed.
I created a detailed readme.md file for your Voxcode project. It covers the 3 core technologies Deepgram, Nebius Minimax, and Cursor SDK, explains how they work together, lists the key features like voice-powered code exploration and edit mode, and includes getting started instructions. The file is ready in your workspace.
What is the name of the file you have created?
The file is called readme.md.
Please change the name it to the new Voxcode demo.
Could you clarify the exact file name you'd like? You mentioned Voxcode README earlier. Did you want something like voxcode-readme.md or a different name?
Yes, you are right, Voxcode-readme.md. Now let's check if it has created new file or not. As you can see, it has created a new file readme.md. This is the old readme that we have for project, but this is the readme.md that our agent has created. This is the simplest demo. We're using Cursor SDK to showcase how you can build something like this in minutes. The reason this architecture works is separation of concerns. Deepgram handles the real-time voice experience, Nebius handles reasoning, routing, and response shaping. Cursor SDK handles code. Each layer does one job. That makes the system easier to debug, easier to explain, and safer to extend. And because Cursor SDK gives you programmatic access to coding agent, you can turn developer workflows into product features as well. I have showcased the demo of simple coding agent that has voice mode enabled. That is Voxcode, a voice-controlled coding assistant, Cursor SDK for code intelligence and edits, Deepgram for real-time voice, Nebius Token Factory for reasoning and response shaping. If you want to try it, links are in description. If you want to extend this, try adding tools like run page, explain error, create issue summary, and thanks for watching.